Today I'll be talking about Unit 7, Changes in Supply. Changes in supply are conditions or factors that causes the supply curve to shift. First, I'll be talking about an increase in supply. An increase in supply is a rise in supply at any given price, causing the supply curve to shift to the right. A decrease in supply, on the other hand, is a fall in supply at any given price, causing the supply curve to shift to the left. This means that supply and price has a positive relationship. This means that whenever price goes up, the quantity supplied of a product will also go up. And so if the price of a product goes down, the quantity supplied of it will also go down. There are many factors that can affect the supply of a product. These are known as determinants of supply. This can be easily remembered as ROTTEN, which stands for resource goods, other goods prices, taxes and subsidies, technology, future expectations, and number of sellers. Resource goods are also known as cost of production. These are resources that you need in order to produce a product. This includes land, labor, and capital. If the cost of production increases, it will take more expenditure to make a product, and so the amount of profit earned by the seller will be less. Because the seller will not be able to earn as much profit, they will not want to supply as much, and so the quantity supply will decrease. This means that when the price of resource goods increase, quantity supply will decrease. If the price of resource goods decrease, quantity supply will increase. Other goods prices will also affect the supply of a product. These goods can be categorized into two categories: substitute goods and complementary goods. Substitute goods are products that can be used instead of another. Pretend that you are a coffee and tea seller. If the price of coffee went up and the price of tea stayed the same, you will be able to earn more profit from the coffee, and so the quantity supply of coffee would increase while the quantity supply of tea decreases. But if the price of coffee decreased and the price of tea stayed the same, you won't be able to earn as much profit from selling a large amount of coffee, so the quantity supply of coffee would drop while the quantity supply of tea rose. Complementary goods are products that can be jointly supplied. This means that one product is automatically made when another product is produced. Think of beef, for example. If the price of beef went up, the supply of it will of course increase as well. And since whenever beef is made, milk is also made, the quantity supply of milk will increase along with the quantity supplied of beef. Taxes and subsidies also play a big part on the quantity supplied of a product. Taxes are payments that firms or corporations must pay to the government. If a firm must pay a lot of taxes, they will not have a lot of expenditure to make the products, and so the quantity supply will decrease. Subsidies are the opposite of taxes. These are payments that the government gives to a firm to encourage them to produce a product. It gives firms an incentive to produce more quantity of a certain product, because now they are not only paid by the consumers, they are also getting paid by the government. This means that if a product has been subsidized, the quantity supply will increase. Technology can also affect the supply of a product. Improvements in technology can raise the productivity of capital and reduce the cost of production. For example, it was probably hard to produce a large quantity of computers a few decades back, but now it is fairly easy to create a large number of computers in a short amount of time. Since the cost of production has decreased, the quantity supply will increase. Future expectations can also contribute to changes in supply. For example, if a diamond seller predicted that by 2045 the price of diamonds will go up, He will try to save as much of it now, and so the quantity supply will decrease because he wants to save as much as he can to sell in the future for a higher amount of profit. But if he expected the diamond price to go down, he will try to sell as much of it right now to earn a higher profit, and so the quantity supply will increase. The number of sellers is the most straightforward determinant of supply. If there are more sellers selling the product, the supply will increase, and if the number of sellers decrease, the quantity supply will also decrease overall. Lastly, I'll be talking about the effects of changes in supply. An increase in supply will first cause a surplus, and this surplus will lower the price. Since the price will decrease, demand will increase. An increase in demand is also known as an extension in demand. A decrease in supply will cause the opposite to happen. It will first cause a shortage, which will push the price to go up. The increase in price will cause a decrease in demand, also known as a contraction in demand. To summarize, changes in supply are factors or conditions that causes the supply curve to shift. The determinants of supply is known as ROTIN, which stands for resource goods, other goods prices, taxes and subsidies, technology, future expectations, and numbers of sellers. An increase in supply will first cause a surplus, and this surplus will cause the price to go down. Since the price will go down, demand will increase, and so there will be an extension in demand. A decrease in supply will cause the opposite to happen. It will first cause a shortage, which will push the price to go up. The increase in price will cause a decrease in demand, also known as a contraction in demand. Thank you for listening.